Okay, so welcome back. I'm here at the finish phase of the London Marathon course. Now my plan was 3 weeks out, I was going to do the final video on the final bend of the race. That's outside Buckingham Palace. Events over the last 48 hours have rather intervened, so I've come a respectful distance away from the course itself. This is the day that the new king's been crowned, so a tremendously historic day. But I wanted to get this video in. It's a very, very important video. You're entering the taper period of your training. Now the taper zone, last 2 or 3 weeks, really, really important. People sometimes think about this as just putting your feet up, eating ice cream, relaxing. I don't really like it when I see that. It's a really important part of training in itself. Those runs are just as important as the other runs. Maybe the mileage is less, the intensity drops a little bit, but you still want to be ticking over those runs in the build-up to race day itself. I think the exception is perhaps the last few days before the race, where really it doesn't matter too much what you do. I suggest just a couple of runs just to keep the legs ticking over. Now, when you get to this part of the race, this is where you can genuinely start to enjoy it and get that sense of finishing. That final bend can stretch round and it seems it can go on forever. It goes round to the right, and then there's another bit that goes round to the right. On the left this year, we're going to have Buckingham Palace beside the windows tributes to the late Queen, so that's going to have added significance this year. The last video I did was at 20 miles, 20 to 26. Well, what can I say about that? It's difficult really to prepare you for that. Hopefully your long runs have got you prepared to some extent, but really until you've been into that zone, it's something you can't really experience, you can't really prepare for. Just dig in, try and perhaps chop up the distance again. You get to 23 miles, think of it as a park run to go. You get to 25 miles, you begin to see the palace. So just try and tick off little landmarks, fraction the race up at this stage, and by the time you get here, that's when you can start to really, really enjoy it. Now, in my last video I spoke a bit about nutrition, but I mentioned a couple of things about carb loading. Now, carb loading is the theory that you build up your carbs a little bit in the 48 hours or so before the race. Certainly it's a very accepted part of preparation for an endurance event like a marathon. It doesn't mean you pile on loads and loads of extra food. You do want to increase your calorie intake a little bit, but it's more about just switching calories away from protein and fats and moving a bit more towards carbohydrates. So a bit more pasta, a bit more bread, a bit more rice, and a bit of extra pasta will certainly do no harm. Don't overdo it. You don't want to feel too bloated on the day of the race itself. Also, I think the Friday is really important for carb loading. It's not just about the Saturday night, it's also about the Friday. Hydration, again, tremendously important. Try and take on a bit of extra water Thursday, Friday and Saturday as you build up to everything that's going to take place on Sunday the 2nd of October. So, when you get here, you're almost there. Tremendous achievement. You're going to finish the marathon, and a marathon finisher, that is something nobody is ever going to be able to take away from you. So, final thank you for everything you've done, all the work you've put in. All the work you've put in is going to help Look do all the amazing work they do for young people with visual impairments and their carers and families. They do tremendous work. You've done tremendous work. Thank you for following me on these videos. I hope it's been of some help. Just enjoy the race. Go out there, have a great race. Thanks for all your work, and we'll see you on the other side.